Guys, welcome to another session where we are going to talk about the brush tool in Photoshop and how it is used. The brush tool is a very important tool. Even as a beginner, you will be using the brush tool a lot of times, okay? So it is very important that we take our time and go through it. But without wasting time, without further ado, guys, let's just get started. Okay, now the brush tool, where do we get it? The brush tool can be found here, and it also have their other tools also here. The Mr. Brush tool is very useful, can be used for maybe frequency separation and also some color corrections if possible. The color replacement tool can also be used for replacing some colors in Photoshop. Is in a quickly manner. It can be done that you can use it to do some quick stuff. Pencil tool is also very useful. But today we are going to focus on the brush tool, solely on the brush tool. All right, okay, guys. In order to do this, I think um let's create a new document. You already know how to create a document. If you haven't, you have to watch the previous tutorials. But, well, even if you don't, I'm going to do it again. So Control N, then you have a new panel here. So over here, document panel here, you can change, say, set the name for this document, this new document. Now, you can set the name if you want. So I think I don't want, but let me just do the setting. Um, let's say brush to um, tweaks, right? Okay, but I'm going to leave the rest here, like the width and then the height. I'm going to leave it the same as the R, right? Okay, I'm going to hit OK. To make it bigger, you always know what to do. Control O to make it bigger. All right, now we are going to paint. Okay, the brush tool is used for painting or coloring in Photoshop, right? Now we are going to paint. It's just the same as how the artists use their brush tool, all right? So the same thing we are going to do here. So we are going to paint. Now let's paint to see what happens. I just painted, but nothing happened. Why? We could ask ourselves, why is that? Why did that happen? Is it by some mistake or something? Like, why did that happen? It's never a mistake. The reason that didn't happen is because of this right here, the foreground color. Now if you set up, if the foreground color is white, it's going to paint it's going to paint the current color that the brush tool has. The foreground color is determining the current color that the brush tool is using. Okay, and now since the background color, the color of this document is already white. If you paint with white again, you don't expect to see anything, right? Good. So now let's change the color. Let's change the color of the brush itself, and then you paint again to see what happens. But to do that, we are going to come back here and then choose maybe color red. Now let's hit OK. You just use the color picker. You can choose any color you want. If you want, you can click any part here. You can see I'm clicking, it is showing. Okay, you're clicking here, then hit OK. Now with the color red, let's drag it across to see something. Can you see what is happening? Can you see? Good. Now we've seen that. Now there's one thing I want to talk about here. You see that as we have dragged this across, you see how hard this is. Like the edges are so pronounced and like they are all showing clearly, right? Good. Now I want to tell you something. Maybe sometimes you are working on something and then you don't want the edges to be showing that much. You want to paint something, but you just want to do the painting to be so light. But this one is very pronounced. What do you do then? You can come here. Now this thing, over here, if you click it, if you click here, it's going to give you the preset picker. Okay, Photoshop has some plenty presets, so it's going to give you the preset picker. Now let's click it. You see it has come here. Now the reason why the edges are so prominent is because of the hardness of this brush. Okay, the hardness is very high. All right. Okay. So now let's reduce the hardness and then paint again. Now let's go out of it. Just click back here to go out of it. Now let's paint again. You see we've painted, we are painting. Now, as we are painting this time around, you could see again that now the edges are very soft. Okay, the edges are very soft now. So you can do a lot of things that you want to do with it. But there is also something that I want to talk about. Now let's go back to the preset picker. You see, with the preset picker, you can change the size of your brush. Okay, you can make it bigger. Now let's see what happens. See the size now. Look at the size. Look at the black circle around my highlighter. Okay. Now let's go back again. Now let's reduce the size. Wait, let me see what. You see, have you seen now that circle thing is now inside the highlighter, which means that it's now smaller, right? Good. Now let's go back again to the picker again. I want to show you something. Now, as we are working, we were using this the soft round brush, okay? The brush preset picker. Remember we talked about presets earlier. What are presets? Presets are just already defined tools in Photoshop that you can use, okay? Some already defined tools, maybe shapes, maybe angles, maybe brushes. They are already defined stuff. Now sometimes presets will come in very handy for you. Sometimes you have to create. You can even create your own presets in Photoshop, and sometimes it come in very handy for you. Now we were using this soft round brush, okay, but you can use other ones as well. There are other brushes in Photoshop that you can use. You see, you can choose this one. If you choose this and then you click back, see, see how this one is, how it's like. You can use a lot of brushes in Photoshop. There are, you can play around this yourself, guys. There are a lot of them. This one is like a leaf. You can use this one. You see how it appears? See the leaves like this format. You can even use this to create patterns for yourself, your own patterns if you want. Okay. Now let's undo some of this real quick so that we look at something else. Okay. Okay. Now let's open the brush preset picker again. Now, when we come here, you can see settings. Okay, now let's click on the setting. This can let us have some other settings with Photoshop about this brush tool. You can, if you click on these settings, it opens the settings a drop down menu for you. Now with this menu here, you can see that there are a lot of stuff you can do, but I want to talk about just a few of them. Now it's look at how this is appearing. This is because I have used up, you see the check mark is on the small thumbnail. This is what I've selected. Now maybe somebody who is having some visual issues will say, okay, I want to use a larger, I want to see this preset bigger, I want them to be bigger. Now you can choose, why not? You can do that. You can choose it. You see that the brush are now bigger. This same thing that you have seen there now become bigger. You can use it, expand this. You can use this here. You can come here. Is that if I'm inside if I'm inside, you see that circle crossed. But if I come here, you can see that there is an arrow which telling me that I can expand this. You can even make it bigger if you want. You can even make it smaller and make it. I prefer it to be at one angle so that I could see the document I'm working on. So you can now let's come back again and see what else we can do with this. Now, if you want to see only the stroke thumbnail, you want to see how the brush will appear, you can choose here. It's already giving you the stroke. It's telling you like, okay, fine. If you use this particular brush, this is how it's going to appear. Okay, see, this one is like some I don't know. Let's try it and see. It's like some hair strand where you can use. See, you can use it as a hair or something. See, you can use it as a hair. Maybe you're making some digital painting. Those who are interested in digital painting, you can use this one to create some hairs for maybe your designs. Okay, now I'm just undoing that. Okay, don't worry too much, I'm just undoing that. All right. Okay, so guys, I think that is it for this aspect. Now I'm going to talk about this panel. This is actually the brush panel itself. Okay, the brush panel itself. So if I open this one, you're going to give me the brush panel. Let's open it and see now. After opening this, you see that it has the brush panel. It has given me the brush panel. Now, if I'm on this, you see other options. These other options are, I don't want to talk about it, but I just want to show you that this stuff exists. Okay, there are a lot of settings in the brush, the brush, with the brush tool that you can use. All right, but I don't want to talk about the. I don't want to talk about the this stuff. What I want to talk about here is click this brush, the brush tip shape. Okay, now what I want to talk about is about the now I'm choosing, I'm saying let me go back and do something before coming back. I want to use the soft one. Okay, now I'm going back to the brush panel again. Now over here I just want to show you something that you can change your brush angle. Okay, okay, I think let me choose one that will make you see this real quick. Okay, I'm choosing this. Now you can change your brush angle as you want. All right, can you see something for yourself? You can change the angle. Okay, now let's go back and choose that hair thing that we were doing before. Now you see the hair. Now, but if I change the angle, you see, watch here to see the preset to see how it is happening. Watch here to, this is a preview of how it will appear. Can you see? You could see that there is the angle is changing. Okay, so let's say for instance, we can use the, you see, good. But now let's go back and change the angle again and see how it, if you use it later, how it appear. Because now we've changed the angle to the, now let's go back and see. You can see everything. So it's like this. The brush tool has a lot of uses in Photoshop, and you can use it to do a lot of things as long as you want. You can use it to do many things in Photoshop. Okay, now you can even reduce the opacity. How you can use it to how see through you want it to be. How you want to be able to see through it. Okay, see, you can use it to create something like this. But if I increase the opacity right now, if I increase the opacity, you can see that it become deeper. Have you seen? Now let me decrease the opacity again for you to see. Now you can see, I've seen, let me make the opacity 50. Then you see, if I make it 50, see, but let me make it 100, you see that it's become more prominent. See? Yes, that's it. And so guys, I think that's those are the basic uses of it. Now, let me just, before I close the session, let me just use it in a quick way for you to see in conjunction with the selection tool that we have seen. Okay, so let's say I want to make some selection. So let me use a selection tool and I click something like here, this portion, and I want to see that section. I want to fill. I want to paint over it. Now let me use the brush to do some painting real quick to differentiate it. Let me use something like green color here. Now I want to paint. Sorry. I was still there before. I didn't come back to the brush tool before. Now, as I've selected it, I'm now on the brush tool. No, okay. This is happening because I'm still in that the hair strand or that kind of that kind of brush. That's what I'm still using. But that's not what I want. So I'm going to undo that. So I'm going to select the soft round brush tool, or maybe let's go so that you see the small thumbnail. We are using this one. Okay, so I want to paint in it, so I'm painting. Have you seen? Now notice something. See, as I have painted, it has only painted that, but hasn't painted outside that, because I've selected only that portion. I told Photoshop to paint only that portion for me. You see? Good, guys, that is it. I know that's a lot to take in, and that is a lot to take in. You can always watch this video over and over again until you get a hang of everything. Okay, and if you don't understand something, just let us know, and we will get back to you. All right, thank you very much for this session. I think that's enough for now, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks once again, and bye for now.